Happy 98th birthday to Andy Warhol. Yeah, he's 2 years from being 100 years old. He died in 1987. But today's his birthday, and I had always heard who Andy Warhol was ever since I was a kid. I knew he was famous for painting the Campbell's soup cans and other things, Marilyn Monroe and whatever. But he's just such an interesting man to read about, and I'm glad to say I've seen one of his works of art at the Memorial Art Gallery on University Avenue in Rochester. A print he made of Jackie Kennedy is on display. I don't know if it's still there. This was years ago when I saw it, but I've seen his work, and I recently read on Wikipedia that his artwork is among the most highly valued from an American artist. I think one of his paintings sold for like $200 million. It's unbelievable what people spend money on. He was an interesting man because he was gay, but he was also a Catholic, which he's just a very private man. Even though his life was very visible, and he was very visible in the art world and as a celebrity. But I'm hardly an expert on Warhol, but he's just so interesting to read about, and I'd like to learn more. But I think when you imagine being an artist, I think a lot of people imagine living the life that he led. And one of the most fun scenes ever, I think, is in Oliver Stone's movie of Jim Morrison, The Doors. He Crispin Glover cameos and plays him, and that scene where he has the phone, and he says he could talk to God with it, but he has nothing to say, is just so fascinating and creepy at the same time. I think Crispin Glover was perfect to play him, and I think maybe if it had happened 10 or 15 years ago, Crispin Glover would have been good to play Andy Warhol in a feature film. I don't know if any films have been made about him, but that's something I would like to see. But today is his 98th birthday, and when he turns 100, I want to try and do something big. Like, I started a painting of him years ago that I never finished, and maybe by 2028 I will get to that. But God bless you, Andy Warhol. I hope you're enjoying the kingdom of heaven, and happy birthday.